You've probably heard it a million times that the three most important factors in real estate are location, location, location. But here's the truth that most people overlook. In a hot market, like the one that we saw in Frisco and Prosper over the last few years, buyers will often snap up whatever's available, even homes in less than ideal locations. And let's face it, location is the one thing about a house that you can never change. Now that the market has started to cool and normalize, those same homes are becoming much harder to sell. So no matter how many upgrades you've done or improvements that you've made, if the location is bad, resale's going to be a challenge. Those homes tend to sit on the market longer and usually sell for approximately 10% less than their comparable neighbors. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 types of home locations to avoid here in Frisco and Prosper. Well, actually anywhere really. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to share one bonus one that surprises a lot of buyers. Let's get into it. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty here in Frisco, Texas. And I help people make smarter real estate decisions every single day. Whether they're buying their first home, moving up, or relocating to the area, if it's something that you're thinking about, I invite you to consider subscribing or reaching out. I'd love to connect with you. All right, so diving into it. Type of home location number 1. That is going to be homes located near high voltage power lines. So you've got those high voltage power lines that you see running across everywhere. You see them all over the place. And homes, although they can't be built directly underneath them, they can be built adjacent to them, or they can be built behind, directly. Those lines can be directly behind where a home is. And it really presents 2 big issues here. One is perception, and 2 is aesthetics. Now, while the health risks are still being debated, perception is reality in the real estate market. Many buyers are uneasy about electromagnetic fields or what the long-term exposure to those could mean. And even if you yourself are not concerned, future buyers might be. Not only that, there's the visuals factor. I mean, you've got the massive towers and you've got those thick black lines running through your backyard or just beyond the fence. It's not exactly peaceful, picturesque setting that most buyers are looking for when they're planning on buying a home. And even in hot markets, those homes always usually sell at a discount and take longer to sell overall. Number 2. Homes that back up to busy roads, highways, or railway tracks. So those, even if the homes don't directly back up to them, if they are impacted by those same things, there's going to be an issue. Noise, traffic, and lack of privacy are your biggest concerns here. And even if the home is beautiful on the inside, a loud road just outside your backyard or bedroom window honestly can be a deal breaker. And if there's a train nearby, forget about it. Good luck sleeping through that. There's some of the trains here locally have a habit of going by at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And to be honest, it's one of the most common things that buyers immediately noticed. And it's also one of the hardest to overlook. I've seen countless buyers fall in love with a home online only to drive up and turn around because of the road noise when they got to the property. And even if the inside of the home is really quiet, thanks to modern insulated windows and doors, people don't live their lives inside only. Once they open a window or they step into the backyard, it's honestly game over. The noise overwhelms everything else. And even if you've got a pool or if you've got a resort style pool in that backyard, it's often not going to be enough for a buyer to overcome that noise aspect. All right, number 3, and this one surprises some people, and it's homes located next to or across the street from a cemetery. Now, some folks truly don't mind this at all, and they might even appreciate the quiet neighbors. And let's be honest, it would be kind of awesome at Halloween, wouldn't it? But for many buyers, it's actually a turnoff. And whether that's due to personal beliefs, superstitions, cultural traditions, or just the overall vibe, the pool of potential buyers shrinks dramatically for these type of homes. And that can translate to a longer time on market and more negotiation when it's time to sell. Those are another type of home that even in a hot market, cemetery adjacent homes tend to underperform others located in a different area of the neighborhood. As an example, there's actually a small cemetery in one section of the Windsong Ranch community in Prosper. And it's not everyone knows about it, but that specific section of the neighborhood consistently has more quick move-in home deals than anywhere else in all of Windsong Ranch. All right, number 4, and that is going to be homes located near industrial or commercial facilities. And this one, it almost seems like a no-brainer, but it's one that many people overlooked, especially a second type of commercial category, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second. Now, understand that not all commercial property is bad. In fact, if your home is located near or has walkability to shops, restaurants, or a local coffee spot, that can actually be a big plus for many potential buyers. So what I'm talking about here is think gas stations, auto repair shops, supermarkets, warehouses, or manufacturing plants. It's businesses that generate noise, odors, and heavy traffic. Potential buyers are going to worry about deliveries, truck deliveries taking place at night, bright lights at night. There's safety concerns, and those can all impact the long-term property value. And it's not only, in this category, you not only have to look out for properties that back up to those now, but there's many homes where they back up to a vacant field now. It's really important to make sure that you find out what that area is zoned for. In many cases, you look at a road like Preston Road, a main thoroughfare here in Frisco and Prosper, and there's a lot of land still available between Preston Road and where the neighborhoods start. What's that land zoned for? Even though it's a green belt today, it might not stay that way. And if it's zoned commercial or industrial, then that could change or impact the houses just inside that neighborhood. Now, other examples in this category are going to include things like cement plants, landfills, and even dairy farms. Now, the issue with those might not be noise, but wind direction. It's really important that you understand where the prevailing wind comes from. If you're downwind from one of those, you could be dealing with some pretty unpleasant smells, or in the case of a cement plant, even harmful dust particles. Now, you might be able to get a deal on the front end when buying one of these properties, but trust me, you're going to pay for it when it becomes time to sell. So number 5, and that is homes with known drainage issues or that are located in a flood zone. So here in Texas, drainage is a serious concern, especially after heavy rains. And for anyone that's not familiar with this area, when it rains, the rain can come down in sheets. They say everything's bigger in Texas, and it includes the size of the raindrops. So if your yard holds water, the foundation has some cracks, or the home has a history of flooding, buyers are going to be very cautious, if not walk away from the deal entirely. I'll be honest with you, I'm always wary of homes that have large retaining walls in the backyard, especially when other homes sit up higher behind you. I mean, let's face it, water always finds its way to the lowest point. So if you're touring a home such as this, make sure you actually go outside and walk the entire yard. You're going to want to walk the backyard. You're going to want to walk both of the side yards as well. You're looking for soft, wet areas. Now, if it's the middle of July or August and you're finding some spots that are soggy, imagine what that's going to be like in the winter. water is going to be a problem on those homes, and you're going to want to think twice about it. Even homes with engineered drainage systems and raised foundations can carry a stigma. And don't forget, flood insurance is often required now, and the cost for that can add substantially to your monthly payment. All right, and a bonus one. So if you're still here, thank you so much. And this is a bonus one that most buyers don't often think about, and that is homes with odd or irregular shaped lots. That might mean a lot that's triangular, or it's a flag lot that's tucked behind some other homes, or it's a narrow wedge of land squeezed into a cul-de-sac. The problem with those lots is functionality and resale appeal. These yards are often harder to use. They often lack privacy, and they may limit future improvements, like adding a pool or expanding the patio or building an addition, things like that. Many times these homes can look great on paper, but in person, something can just kind of feel off, and that's usually enough to make buyers walk away. Now, I will say, with this type of lot, there are exceptions. I once showed a property to a buyer, and it had a very large irregular slope across the back and side. But that particular buyer loved it because it fit into their overall plans. They were able to build in a beautiful terraced backyard with an elevated patio on multiple levels, and they put in a pool and even a water slide that came down that natural slope. But let's be honest, not everyone's going to be able to do that. It takes vision, it takes a budget, and it takes a lot of planning. All right, so here's the bottom line. When the market's hot, homes in all of these locations are still going to sell, sometimes very quickly, sometimes with multiple offers. But when things slow down, those are the first to sit, and they are the hardest to move. Even if the home itself is gorgeous, these location factors can cost you 10% or more when you're going to sell. Now, if you were able to buy the home at a 10 or 15% discount, knowing that you're going to have to sell at a discount down the road may not be an issue for you. So I'm not saying you definitely shouldn't buy. I'm just asking you to keep your eyes wide open and be aware of that when you're going in, so that you're not surprised when you're trying to sell and move out. So if you're buying a home right now here in Frisco, Prosper, or anywhere in the North Texas area, pay attention to the location. There's a lot of development going on and still quite a lot of open ground in certain areas. So you are going to want to not only look at what's there now, but what could be there in a few years. Remember, you can change almost anything about a house except where it is. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find this information. And if you're thinking about buying but want to make sure that you make a smart investment, then I invite you to reach out. You can call or text the number that's on the screen, or in the description below, I have got a link that's going to lead you directly to my calendar. You can also go ahead and scan this QR code, which is also going to take you to that same link of my calendar, and schedule a free 30-minute, no pressure consultation. Think of it more like a discovery call. I'll walk you through the different neighborhoods, and I'm going to help you avoid these red flags so that you end up in a home that you'll love and that's going to hold its value in the long term. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next video.